Day 359 of doing a LeetCode problem every day until I get a job. All right, y'all, we're back again another day, another LeetCode problem where we're doing daily LeetCode problems. And today we have question number 44, wildcard matching. The difficulty level is hard, but don't even worry because you already know we're going to keep the solution as simple and easy to understand as possible. But before we get started, y'all don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you need any new Apple AirPods, go on and check out that link in the description so you can get you some. Now let's see what the question says. Given an input string S and a pattern P, implement a wildcard pattern matching with support for a question mark and an asterisk, where the question mark matches any single character and the asterisk matches any sequence of characters, including the empty sequence. The matching should cover the entire input string, not partial. All right, y'all, that sounds simple enough, but let's go ahead and take a look at these examples just to make sure we're doing this question correctly. So in example 1, we have the input S equals a string AA. P equals a string A. The output is false. Explanation says A does not match the entire string AA. So in this example or in this problem, P should match S, right? Or given the modifications that they allow us, but overall P and S should match, right? And in this case, P is equal to a string of 1A and S is equal to a string of 2A's. And since P only has 1A and it needs 2A's, that means the output is false because it doesn't match. 1A does not match 2A's. We need another A here for it to match, or we need a question mark or an asterisk. So let's go ahead and look at example 2 where they give us a problem or an example where we can use an asterisk. So in example 2, we have the input S equals AA. This time P equals an asterisk. The output is true. Explanation says the asterisk matches any sequence. Sorry, y'all. Asterisk matches any sequence. As it says right here in the requirements of the problem, it says asterisk matches any sequence of characters, including an empty sequence. So when we put an asterisk, that can match any sequence, no matter what is in the input S. It could be 4A's, and we could just put one asterisk, and that will count as matching the entire sequence. We don't need to add anything else to the asterisk. Asterisk does what it does, and it's similar to like a variable, but with multiple characters and or any sequence. It's like a variable for any sequence. So let's go ahead and look at example 3 where they give us an example of where they may use a question mark. So in example 3, we have the input S equals CB and P equals question mark A. The output is false. Explanation says the question mark matches C, but the second letter is A, which does not match B. So as you can see up here in the problem requirements, it says a question mark matches any single character, right? This question mark is any single character, whereas this matches, the asterisk matches any sequence of characters. So since the question mark is only going to match a single character, that means that this question mark only matches for C, but we're still left with B, and B and A do not match. Now, if this A was a B, then the output would be true, but this A is not a B, so the output is false because this P does not match this S, and that is because of the A and the B, right? Where the C is handled by the question mark. The C and the question mark, they're good, right? It says right here, question mark matches C, but the second letter A does not match B. So that's why the output is false. So I hope that made sense to y'all. Just remember, question mark matches a single character, asterisk matches a sequence of characters, and everything else needs to match up with its according character. So now that we understand the question, y'all, let's get into the fun part, the actual solution. As you know, the solution is not going to be that difficult at all, so let's get started. And the first thing we are going to do is we are going to convert our input strings into an arrays of characters, which will help us when we are iterating through the indexes, or the characters of each input string. So for that, we're just going to say let SARR equal an array, open up the parentheses of S. Then we could say comma. We could either say comma or we could say, we could do it like this. I'll just do it like this so y'all can see. But we could have put a comma right there instead of another let. But we're gonna say let PR equal an array square bracket P, right? So now our strings are converted into arrays. Excuse me, y'all. Now our strings are converted to arrays, which will help us when we're iterating through each character. Now we need to initialize a Boolean array for pattern length to account for just for the pattern length plus 1. So we're gonna say let p bools, let p bools equal square bracket bools. So an array of bools, we're gonna open up the parentheses. It's gonna be repeating colon false comma count colon p dot count plus 1. Boom. Now we need to create our 2D dynamic programming array. And we're going to initialize it to false to start. But to do this, we are going to say declare a variable called PDP. We're going to set that equal to an array. Open up the parentheses. Repeating colon p bools. So that's how it's going to be initialized as false to start, because p bools is an array of repeating falses. Then we're going to say dot count colon s dot count plus 1. Boom. Now we're going to create an empty pattern that matches an empty string. So for that, we could just come right here and we could say dp square bracket 0 square bracket 0, and we are just going to set that equal to true. Boom. Now it's time to iterate over all of the lengths of S. So for that, we're going to say, we're going to come right here, we're going to open up the parentheses, we're going to say 0 dot 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 S dot count S dot count. Then come outside the parentheses, we're going to say for each. We're going to open up the brackets. Now we need to iterate all lengths of P. So we're going to say for J in 0 dot 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 P dot count where J is greater than 0. We're going to open up the brackets. Now we're going to say let CP equal PR square bracket J minus 1. And that's going to get us the current character in the pattern. We're going to come underneath, come underneath that, and we're going to say if CP exclamation point equals, so does not equal, quotation marks, an asterisk, or a star, we're going to open up the bracket. So if the current pattern character is not a star, we're going to check if the previous characters match and current characters match, or the current pattern character is a question mark. So we're going to say DP, open up the square brackets, $0. Come outside those square brackets, we'll say $J. Then we're going to say equals $0 is greater than 0, and two and signs. We're going to say DP square bracket $0 minus 1. Come outside those square brackets, and we're going to say square bracket J minus 1. Come outside those square brackets, we're going to say and two and signs. We're going to open up the parentheses. We're going to say CP equals SR square bracket $0, $0 minus 1. Come outside of those parentheses, those square brackets, we're going to say or two vertical lines, or CP CP equals, open up the quotation marks, question mark, question mark. Boom. Then we're going to come right here on this if statement right here, and we're going to say else. We're going to open up some more brackets. And if the current pattern character is a star, that means it can match any sequence. So we're going to say, we're going to declare a variable called flag. We're going to set that equal to false. And we're going to look for any previous position k where the pattern up to j minus 1 matches the string up to k. So we're going to say for k and 0 dot 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 $0 $0 where, excuse me y'all, where dp square bracket k square bracket j minus 1 come outside the square brackets, open up the brackets, and we're going to say flag, set flag equal to true. Boom. So if it's true, if the flag, sorry y'all, we're going to say, let me think how I'm going to do this. So we're going to say, we're going to come right here, and we're going to say dp square bracket $0 square bracket j, or excuse me, we're going to say equals flag, or two vertical lines for or j equals 1. Boom. But we're not done yet because we still need to return the final answer. So for that, we're going to come down here, and we are just going to say return dp square bracket s dot count square bracket p dot count. Boom. It wasn't that much code, so let's go ahead and give it a run, y'all. Before we submit it, it wasn't that bad, was it? Ooh, and it's accepted, y'all. First try, that's what I'm talking about. So let's go ahead and submit it. Make sure it's still accepted after we submit it. Ooh, 146 milliseconds beats 9.3 users with Swift. We could definitely get those numbers up, y'all, but we'll get those numbers up as we continue down our LeetCode journey. Right now, we just want to be able to solve the problem that is presented to us. I feel like this is a good solution for that. So with that being said, y'all, make sure you get one more look at the code. This is the top half. This is the bottom half. And yeah, y'all, I hope y'all learned something today, and I hope to see y'all here tomorrow for another day, another LeetCode problem. See y'all then.